Victorville, North Carolina. WNOS 1450 AM and W272EK 102.3 FM. Licensed to New Bern, North Carolina.
Good morning, radio audience. How are you? I am Mary Perkins-Williams, live in color and dropping everything. Dropping it, trying to get in the floor, and dropping my purse and everything, trying to come in. So I am here alive on Awesome Radio, WECU, 1570 on the AM dial and 107.5 on the FM dial. I do have a guest coming in today, and I am so excited about her. Young lady is working hard on doing something good for Pitt County. Pitt County is growing. So stay tuned with them, and I'll share some of the new things that we're happening and some of the things that I'm finding out about that been here maybe for a little while, but it just haven't been really out there bursting, just been budding, the things that's been budding and now it's taking bloom. I'm excited to have the guest. I've been trying to get her for a while, and she's a busy young lady. Today, I want to share some new things in Pitt County. On last Monday night at the Pitt County Board of Commissioner meeting, and if you are a regular listener to the station, you know I talk about how you can call in 252-756-2008, having a call in, and we monitors our call-in number. We like to take the little tally marks so that we can have it, and that helps the show. So that's 252-756-2008 if you like to call in. So when my guests come, we'll be going straight on social media. At any time of the day, you can tell your friends to tune in on social media with Awesome Radio. And you should be able to find it. I find it. If I can find it, anybody can find it, because all these things running around in my head. Will be coming. Last Monday night at the board meeting, we voted to look at some things. We shared our calendar. The manager, every time the Pitt County Board of Commissioners meet, on the agenda, we'll let you know what our agenda looks like. Top on the agenda, after we do invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance by one of the students who's in high school, introduce themselves, and from that point on, we be motion to accept the agenda, and when it passes, we start our meeting officially. What we did last week, we talked about we would be talking about on Tuesday, which was last night, the fire thing, and I had a couple of things going, and so I said I was going to slow down, and I'm trying to learn to slow down, but I haven't developed it yet. I'm still working on it. So you just pray that God will be kind enough to allow me to be active and still continue to do the things that I do for the residents of Pitt County. I do assist anyone who come in. My office is located for community services. It's staffed. It's located at 2197 Old River Road. And I'm able to roam around in the District 2 of the Pitt County Board of Commissioners. And it's a very large district, 233 square miles. And I like to tell you about that from time to time. Today, we are talking about how we can assist, our economy. I don't know what to say about it, other than the fact that everything that we need to support our household is changing in prices. The prices are rising. And I don't listen to the news as continuous all the time. I have one high school classmate who says that he just doesn't listen and doesn't take the paper either because nothing is really exciting in the news. But because I represent residents, I feel like I need to know. So I have a news station. I flip flop between all of them because there are different opinions on stations, and I like to share positive and just truthful things. They may not be right all the time, but because you base it on what you're hearing, and good old common sense judgment is what I usually use. We had a working session with fire chiefs of Pitt County, throughout Pitt County, all 10 municipalities and all the ETJ areas. Everywhere there is a fire station, the chiefs were invited to come and share their opinion and their finances problem, because when we have a good emergency management system, it helps our residents with insurance on property. So that is another thing it is important for us to address. So as the oversight committee, we do things. It seems that the budget is here, and I just come from vacation in the month of May, the first part of May, and I was rested. But with the budget and everything else, it seems like my calendar just can't get right and relax some. And there are things that this is an oversight committee. I am a caring person about residents, people who are low in economics, low in education, and that always seemingly have issues for the household, issues for the community, just issues, and they just seem to can't get it right. Usually I have a listening ear, and it's hard to separate myself sometimes. But we have a wonderful staff with the Pitt County government. And I think we have one of the best managers out of the 10 counties in the state of North Carolina. I think we have the best manager in the state of North Carolina, Janice Gallagher, and our county seat manager, which is Greenville, that's Michael Cowan. These are good people. I'm able to talk with them at any time, and I tend to feel like I do have a very honest answer from the both of them, because sometimes you have to ask those deep-seated questions that exist in your heart as well as in your mind. So I think we have excellent people for which we can tune into. While my guest is coming, I want to let you know that we are looking at the fire system, and this has been happening now for about 4 years, and it looks like we are dragging it out, but we want to make sure that we want to make the best decision possible. But one is coming real soon. In addition to that, we also voted recently that we will work towards, now this is not a new decision, we've been working towards combining our human resource departments. That consists of the Department of Social Services and the Department of Health, Public Health and Social Services. And at our last meeting, I did ask this question, and I'm assured that we will not be doing away with any of the services from either one of those departments. That's public health. There'll still be, and certain positions are described by law as to what professional should be there. That's public health and the Department of Social Services. Now, my close, immediate family members tell me that I'm a naive person. Some of you don't think so. But my children, you know how grown children are. They tell you what they think. They just have to find the right way to tell you. They said, Mama, I tell you, you're just going to get it. Sometimes I think you're on vacation. I think you just don't get it. I think you missed the point. And so you just out there. I said, well, if I'm naive and I don't get it, then you're the vacation and I got you. So that's the way they do it. And I'll say this, we are, I struggle when it is a very household item that we discuss. I struggle to do or vote in a way that I would want my children and grandchildren and my neighbors' children and my family of District 2 to feel good about it. For the most part, I've cast one vote that did not agree with a few of the people in my district, but there was other pressing issues that I think will help and it would iron out. And so, but I did talk with the person who was leading that and served on the Pitt County Board of the policies as it relates to, let's see, what's Jonah's board in name. He gonna get me because it escaped me right now because I got my train of thought in another place. It's planning, the planning department. That's headed by Jonas. Jonas. Jonas gonna get me because I don't know his last name. But anyway, he is the director of the Pitt County Planning Department. Usually, that's my go-to department because there are so many issues in the district. Trash, y'all know I have a personal thing about trash. If we have trash everywhere, then it looks like we're in a trash dump. And I don't want that to happen. I would like for our district, which is the northern area of Pitt County, the cream of the crop. If you look at Pitt County as a cone, Pitt County like an ice cream cone, a Nutty Buddy. And you get a little cherry sometimes, you can cap it off, and you can cap it off with some nuts. You can cap off a Nutty Buddy with nuts, walnuts and all like that. You can have a vanilla cone, or you can have something like a chocolate cone with Nutty Buddy. And I like Nutty Buddies. And Nutty Buddy doesn't mean that you are mentally gone. Nutty Buddy means that you taste good. So we are the cream of the crop when it comes down to Pitt County. That's the top of the Nutty Buddy where all the cream is and the good stuff. Just push it down in the comb and the rest of it will taste good. What I'd like to say is when we all do our part in the community, then our community will attract positive ideas. Our community will attract positive development. Our community will flow in a very positive way when we come together with our thoughts and actions. So we are striving for that, and we are looking to one day merge the human resource arms, which is DSS, the Department of Social Service, and Public Health. They deals with all of the household issues and those relating to people. We got to be healthy. You start eating right, then we won't have so many worrations about doctors and getting in the hospital and sitting in the emergency room for hours. So eat healthy. Grow a garden. Doesn't take much. There are cans that you can put some dirt in and drop a seed, and you will have a vegetable coming up. So do something to help your budget. And growing a garden, they had, I like to say the owners of Awesome Radio had some plants out the side of her window, and I saw tomatoes and cucumbers and peppers. I mean, when you have an idea, grow that idea. And the idea will attract good things. And that's what's happening here with Awesome Radio. I want her to keep on growing and grow all the way to the ocean fronts. Every time I look up to this column that runs in this radio station, I see one, two, three, four different call letters that she's operating. One for Hispanic, and we have a very large Hispanic, and she's gone as far as east as New Bern. Hot diggity dog. We are going there. So that's positive progress. And the more people come, it helps with our taxation. And I haven't heard of any board member, Pitt County board member, to say that they want to increase taxes. I I heard them say that we like to keep our taxes minimal. Now we know that I mentioned this one time before, and I'm gonna get into our stuff for today because we're gonna be going right in. Uh, the North Carolina Association of Counties, which is the organizations where we all come together throughout North Carolina, that the whole 100 counties, is looking at the taxation because the state legislators have a habit of creating laws but won't fund them. They send them here for us to tax you to get the taxes for it. And that's the only way we can get it is through taxes. But now they want to take that, and if they want to have a referendum on our tax system for the upcoming election to say that we want to limit taxes. Well, if the economy, here's my common sense thing. If our economy is growing, that means if we're living, our land mass is growing, and more people are coming to live with us, that means that we have to provide services for more people. And rather than to say you pay more taxes, when the people come or we build new real estate places to live, or we build real estate business to come, or we build real estate companies to come in and plant here, then we have ways of getting more taxes. That's through the new people that come. So we need to attract those people so that we can keep our taxes at a level way. That's my common sense way of looking at how we need to handle taxes. But we have someone in the state legislature. We have our senator, and we have House of Representatives. So I think we have two districts here in Pitt County that is in the House. The House, the seat of the House of Representatives, in all of the government entities, whether state or federal, the House seat is usually the more larger bunch of people. The Senate seats are the smaller bunch of people, and that's how it goes. So as we look into make some changes and pay attention to how we change, the Department of Social Service and the Health Department will be merging, and we call it a combination, a comprehensive plan to train to serve our human resources, which are you, the taxpayer. And we're looking at the Department of Public Health and the Department of Social Services. We didn't just start this. It's been ongoing now for some time. I used to be as a resource person I went to meetings in Burlington 4 times a year, and I heard it then, which was about 8 years of social services. And I've been to some of the state conferences. And up until now, we have not been a combined human resources center. Mecklenburg was a leader, which is in Charlotte area, of the municipal building. And this is my guest coming, so I'm going to get to this real in a quick way. Human services consist of the health department and the Department of Social Services. And so we do know that there's a lot of stress, and it seems like we have more idea about performing as a human being more hatred things, because even this week we were met in the United States with some hatred action, like the some youth were shooting in a Muslim synagogue. This is where they worship. We can't even go to church now without being worried about getting shot or something like that. So we have to find better ways to serve you. So pay attention and go to the meetings so that you can have your input. And today we're going to talk about a company that I know has been going on for some time here in Pitt County, about violence, domestic violence, and how we serve that. And social services, as well as the sheriff department, has to deal with those kinds of things, criminal type things. The sheriff has people who, out of the loving things that we want, that creating crime, breaking in, shooting, killing, robbing, stealing, all those things that does not fall with what we have learned in our spiritual house of life. Those things that we learn in our spiritual house of life teach us to love ye one another as ourselves. And this radio station has a spiritual motto all about us, as it talk about Christian love and faith. So as we look for that, maybe as we grow on loving and being hopeful and faithful, then we can do better as human beings. So today I want to introduce to you, and I'm not going to introduce, you know I have that habit. I don't call the right name, and I've been knowing this young lady for a little while. When I say a little while, she was a baby. Young. Yeah. Ooh, you. That's what she was when I first met her. And she lived in our area. But she's turned out quite well, I think. I think she has. Let's see, I have a little partial feeling about her. But she's doing some good things, and very supportive. I want her to introduce herself. That way she will pronounce her name the way she wants her name pronounced, and she will say what she's doing, and she's going to give you an open session. Now know this, the number to call after she introduces herself, the number to call if you have questions, you have anything you like to know how to recognize or whatever, and she might look young. She is younger than I am. But when you have an age, that's wisdom. Wisdom come from being, doing. Wisdom come from long times experiences, because you know what the end results is. She's going to introduce herself. She's going to introduce her organization, and we're going to go from there. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, introduce yourself to our audience and keep your face on the frame in front of you so people can see that smile. Look at that, y'all. Look at that. Ain't she cute?
Good morning. I'm Dr. Vernita Council Howard. I am the founder and executive director for SWAT, which is Survivors with a Testimony. And we are in Pitt County. We do service 5 areas: Pitt, Martin, Beaufort, Edgecombe, and Wilson counties.
Woo! Now, here's what I want you to do. I want you to speak into the mic.
Okay.
And I want you to talk a little bit slower, because as we pass the age, as we get to 70 and go beyond, like to the 90s, and we do have some people that I know are 90 that's listening. So as we get that far, we want them to understand what you're saying. You said SWAT. Now, you know, everybody sees SWAT on television.
Yes, ma'am.
And so let's start with SWAT and do those letters a little bit slower.
SWAT stands for Survivors with a Testimony.
There you go. Look at that, y'all. And she said it with such pride.
Yes, ma'am.
And survivors with a testimony. 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 All of us hear testimonies in church. Anytime people are talking about themselves, it's all about their spiritual aspect. Survivors with a testimony. Vernita Howard. Now, you said doctor.
Yes,
That's
ma'am.
not MD.
No, ma'am.
That's PhD,
Yes, ma'am.
PhD.
Yes, ma'am.
And what about DD? Doctors of Divinity.
Yes. I was like, wait.
PhD is Doctors of Psychology.
Yes.
Okay.
Divinity.
Divinity. Okay.
Yes.
All right, here we go. Now, you know that she has courses and she is a counselor. Every minister, you know, that's the number one part of being a leader is to counsel your parishioners, your members, so that they can live that positive life that great deity out there in the world wants of us. Love ye one another as thyself. Now, if we did that, we wouldn't have a whole lot of people in jail. If we did that, we won't be harming others. If we did that, we would live a peaceful life. So let's talk about your area. You've grown some. You've grown away from Pitt County. Wherever you said, Edgecombe County,
Yes, ma'am.
that's the county to our west. If you're new in Pitt County, that's the county to our west. All right? Martin,
Yes, ma'am.
that's the county to our north. So you're dealing heavy with the cream of the crop because we are the cream in Pitt County. North of the Tar River is the cream. Okay, now what did you say Beaufort?
Yes, ma'am.
Beaufort County?
Beaufort County.
Oh, that's right across the creek on the east. Right down the creek. All right.
And Wilson.
And Wilson. Western, southwest, like. All right. Now, what is your mission?
Our mission is to um, end abuse and to bring resources, awareness, and education to all forms of abuse.
All forms of abuse
Yes, ma'am.
in human life.
Yes.
In human life. You ought not be killing dogs anyway if they look after you. But anyway, we're going to go there. Now, are you located in each one of those counties?
We do have representation in every single county.
How many members are on your in your organization? Do you know off the top? If my questions are too much, you can always get back.
No, it's fine. We have seven. We have 7 active board members. We have 4 volunteers.
Great. Now, you deal with the physical, the mental, and the healthy part of the body, right?
So we deal with all forms of abuse. Most people think of abuse, they just think of the physical, but there's spiritual, there's emotional, there's financial, there's psychological, mental. So we cover the whole. You can't just deal with a person that's just been through physical and think it's just physical because they are affected mentally, psychologically. So you have to deal with it as a whole, not just, I like to think of it as just putting a Band-Aid over it and thinking just because I deal with one portion, the rest that's bruised don't need to be taken care of. You do. You have to take care of the whole person.
Wonderful, wonderful. Now, that doesn't just rain with young folks, right?
No,
Old folks too.
there's no age limit.
Thank you.
Abuse can start as young as a child and could go as old as a person lives. And so you can't just cap who you're going to help. Abuse is abuse. It don't matter if it's in a child or if it's in an elderly person or an adult. The other thing is we don't just assist women. We assist men, women, and children.
I was at a meeting one time when I first was introduced to your organization, and there was a man there telling about how he was abused by his spouse. And I went, whoa, I never thought of that. I never thought, I know women get it a lot. Men are strong and robust, and I know women get it a lot, and you hear a lot about it in court. But it was an eye opener for me to hear that testimony. He was talking about his own testimony in his household with his wife and the tears. So everyone have feelings. Everyone have feelings. And so I learned something at that particular. Now, you recently spoke at Northern Pitt County Improvement Association gathering. Do you remember what your topic was?
Yes, ma'am.
I want to hear that again. Caught you.
From a girl to a woman. Girl is gifted, intelligent, resilient, and love. Woman stands for worthy, obedience, masterpiece, which is God's masterpiece, anointed, and never settling.
Wow. Now, she went through quite an address to the people in the room, men and women, families and non-families. And it was, a very good presentation. And I think it will be worthy to have some other time in life. What would you like to say about how people would access your services? I do, that's my phone. And I thought I cut it off. Y'all know I do that problem. I do constituency services. In other words, I give everyday services at a building on Old River Road, which is where my office is, at 2197 Old River Road. How do we access? And we are working on a list of services, human services for people, human service, and we're just getting our people back, and the office is breaking. There are two people. One is handling the technical stuff in the office, filing and doing, and the other is building list of resources where we can refer people who have needs for certain aspects that the county can't have. Now, I'm not talking about building a house and all that. When you have to build a house, you need to go to Jonas. I think Jonas' last name is Hill. If it ain't, I just gave it to him. But he's in planning, and he'll tell you what you need and how you need to start that planning props right. And Brian is in city of Greenville. Brian is in planning in the city of Greenville, and he'll tell you how to do it in the city. So everyone has an expertise, and God loves us all. All right, let's go there. How do we find your services?
So we're in the process now of a building, and so that is in the works. But we still provide our services virtually, and we can come where you are. We do have locations that we can meet, that are secure locations that we have partnered with other nonprofit organizations. And if you need us, you can always go to our website, which is www.survivors.
Hold up.
Oh,
Here's her website. Now, I know our regular listeners have a pencil and pad by their phone. It's www. 2//
survivors with
with
a testimony
a testimony. TSTMONY
.org.
.org, and you can find her services. And then Is your telephone number on there?
It is.
There you go. Now that COVID has come and gone, we all got to learn how to use these things called a telephone, which is a miniature computer. That's what our telephone is, a miniature computer. We just don't dial and talk like we used to now. We can look at folks and write folks and do everything on this miniature computer. But our fingers can't be fat. You don't match the keys, so you have to change your change your keyboard. Ain't that right? You can do that, right? Mm-hmm. She has a very good practical technology background. Has helped me a number of times. That got me started in technology when we had to do Zooms and everything else. And I thank you for all your services, personal services that you have rendered to me. And if I need you, I know how to find you too.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now let's talk about what you do. Where wait a minute, you have a place, you have an arm in Indiana.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you are not just in the social, because when people go online on the computers, they may be in other places. Do you keep a statistical accounting of your telephone calls?
Yes.
So all of your four staffers keep up with the calls,
Yes.
and then you compile them.
Yes.
Okay. All right then. What would you say is the first effort of saying that a person should reach out to anyone of us? Now, I don't do anything other than to tell them how to find their professional help. My profession is not in any of those things, counseling or whatever. My profession is in information. I worked in that all my life, and the way you can tell I don't have a problem talking. You can tell I don't have a problem joking, but you can tell that I love people. I hope you can, because I do. So now, your profession is spiritual, right?
Yes.
Based on the spirit of life.
Yes.
Okay, now you can go from there, what you want to say about what you do.
So a lot of times with domestic violence, a person is not going to just come to you and say, hey, this person is just beating on me. You're going to have to really look for signs. You can see signs of bruises, maybe on their arms. They are distanced because abusers like to isolate you from family, isolate you from friends. And so if you got a person that's very vibrant and all of a sudden they're to themselves, pulled away, that is a sign. And instead of passing judgment, because going through abuse, you're dealing with judgment all day. Instead of passing judgment, let that person know that you're there for them. Be a listening ear. I always tell people, be a listening ear, not a running mouth. Meaning, if a person come to you and tell you, listen, this is going on, don't pass judgment. That they're already dealing with that. But let them know that you are a mere support for them. If you don't know what to say, you don't know what to do, then reach out to someone for help. Give them resources. You can't always give them paper and say, hey, here's the domestic violence, because it's going to trigger something in the abuser. Why you out telling the business? And then that can make them get hurt more. And so be that listening ear, be that support that they need. Be that person that if they need you, you're going to be there. If you don't know how to handle it, then reach out to professionals. Also, a lot of people will say, well, it's not happening to me. It's not my business. Well, let me give you this scenario. A bullet has nobody's name on it. And a bullet don't always hit who it's intended for. So if you are witnessing the violence, take a chance, call the police, because that could save a lot of people's lives. It's time out that we say, oh, well, that has nothing to do with me. That's none of my business. But when that bullet come through and it don't hit you and it hit your child, now we want everybody to circle around when all we had to do was take that first stand. Call the police. I'm not saying, I know people don't like to snitch, but I'd rather snitch and save a life than to sit back and then have that on my conscience for the rest of my life.
Now, let me tell you what a snitch is. A snitch is a testimony by a person who witnessed a certain thing. So I would call it the testimony. The snitch tells that something doesn't appear normal within a person. A child can be fighting and carrying on and bullying. Then someone should say that child needs some kind of positive experience. Now, a snitch is a testimony. And you see an older person walking with the head down all the time and crying. Those are physical signals that something is not pleasant for that person. Would you say that's a good snitch?
That's a good person that's watching. And that's why I will always intervene and, hey, have a conversation. Sometimes that's all a person needs is just that conversation to lift that weight. And then you can get, a lot of times when you just start the conversation, you're going to get more than what you bargained for. But at least you'll have somewhere to start.
Great. Now, here is one thing I said when I first found out, when I became a county commissioner, the district asked me, especially the man who knew me, well, look, nobody won't be coming to your house. So in the hours of the night, you need to be accessible. So they found a place for me to say, you need to get this place right here. I think you could be able to have this, and we can come. Well, it was slow, and they came, and after a while, things happened. Flooded, all of this, and they were coming in. Oh, and I found myself just sitting there looking. They said, you're not saying anything. I said, well, I want to wait till I hear your entire story. I said, now you have a more peaceful voice. Don't you feel a little bit better that I listened to you? I know what you said. So, and there's the other ways that I know that happen because I had to get it too, because I heard when the flood came. And it took me quite a time to get over that because I lost it all except what was in my car. I was planning for my daughter's wedding. So here we are in those unknown occurrences that comes up. As an adult, we got to find places to go, to refer people. And that's what I like to say that happens in my office, that we are a referral information place to go to people that can hear your story all the time, because there are different kinds of stories. Mm-hmm. There are different kinds of needs. And since I look like a grandma and you look like a young lady, then maybe the teenager would talk to you. But then they see me and then they want to say, hey, mama, what's happening? And I said, well, I'm not going to say I'm not your mama. I'm going to say, you having them, baby. And that's a different opening into it. So we have to learn how to care. We have to learn how to encourage. And we have to learn how to embrace people without the spiritual, without the physical thing of touching. Mm-hmm. We got to touch with the sound. We have to touch with the look. And that's the way it goes. Now, what else can you say about your survivors with a testimony?
Um, so pretty much we are here to support anyone who's going through. We are here to support men, women, and children. And if you need us, we're as we stated before, you can contact us through the website or through our phone number.
Now, it's 10:45 on this telephone. I tell you, it goes so fast. Gosh, this time just moved fast. So what we are doing at Northern Pitt County, we are building a list of resources. It will have the contact person, the contact telephone number, and we will have a card, index card, so that we can put them out and keep it up to date. And as you get that kind of resource, everybody know where to find the food box. I think there's a food box list out here. There's a food box episode going on because this is a food insecurity area. I have a guest that was introduced to me yesterday by this young lady. And I had been to the same building before. And it is amazing, an amazing office. So the next week on Wednesday, you will get to meet this young man. Y'all know my guests are young, old, whatever, flow, where it comes from. You will get to meet. And, not only is he good looking, he is really cool. A young man that talks about his work for the community. And I think he has walk-in. Is that what it said? Something like walk-ins as well as the referrals. So we will, Northern Pitt County will be having such a list as to how you can reach people to help you so that you can go through. We'll have the list of the food boxes. We'll have all kinds of lists of services. And we'll have that index file that will have slots as to what you may find in Pitt County that you feel that you can't go to in a different manner with offices. Some offices are hard to find. And it seems that everybody run to the hospital and fill the emergency room up. They have to work through whoever shows up. And so what we're trying to do is create some resources for the community that will ease some of the pain. If you're not bleeding, then they say you don't need medical help. That's not true. You can feel bad on the inside, and only you know that. You and your deity, D-I-E-T-Y, will only know that you are hurting. So what we need to do is be coming together to find out resources out there, and everyone has an expertise. This is Vernita Council Howard, the director of Survivors with a Testimony. Thank you so much for joining us today. And this is the Mary Perkins-Williams Show. And we didn't even have a caller. And we will be going off in a few seconds here. And you don't have to wait. We're located at 2197 Old River Road. And we are live at 2826 South Memorial Drive, Awesome Radio Network. The place owned by a minority female. We're so happy to have her in our show. Thank you so much. And Austin, you want to say something in closing?
Thank you for having me.
That, Lord, was that short and sweet. I look forward to it. And we look forward to seeing you. And if you have a problem, there is someone somewhere who can help you. And it's not just on earth. It is within. Thank you. Mary Perkins-Williams on the Awesome Radio Network Show, 1570 on the AM dial, 107.5 on the FM dial. WECU are the call letters, Awesome Radio Network, and you can catch her on Facebook, TikTok, and anything else in social media. There's more than you can name. The list is so long now. I don't even try to remember them. Thank you for Vernita, for joining us today. And I appreciate you coming. And I look forward to the wonderful things that you'll be doing. It is Awesome Radio. And we are 22 seconds out. This is Memorial Drive coming up. Memorial Day coming up. Find something positive to do other than drink. If you drink Pepsi Cola, Dr. Pepper, and ginger ale. Cook all the food you want, because I might be stopping by.
Annual Youth Incarceration Prevention Ministry event beginning 12 noon,
It always
Saturday,
goes-
June 6th at St. John Missionary Baptist Church,